In this day and age, we are so invested in all the technological advances in the world around us. Whether it be checking Facebook on our smartphones, getting directions somewhere using GPS, or even checking the weather forecast via radar, these are tasks most people do every day without really realizing how all of this is possible. As a person who's grown up in this era of wireless internet and GPS, I've never stopped to think about how all this technology I use every single day has come to exist.
Until 2 days ago, that sound had never been heard on this earth. Suddenly, it has become as much a part of 20th century life as the whir of your vacuum cleaner. It's a report from man's farthest frontier, the radio signal transmitted by the Soviet Sputnik, the first man-made satellite as it passed over New York earlier today.
On October 4th, 1957, the Soviet Union revolutionized the world by launching the first artificial Earth satellite. The launch of Sputnik 1 initiated a competition between countries, a space race. Who else could engineer an artificial satellite and send it out into space? A year later, NASA sent out their first satellite, the Explorer 1. Almost 60 years later, there are 2,271 satellites listed as orbiting the Earth. Traveling at around 17,000 miles per hour on average, artificial satellites are made of metals, consisting of antennas and a power source, and can be equipped with cameras. More often than not, they have thrusters that keep them in line with their orbit when they get off track due to Earth's uneven gravity fields. This keeps satellites from crashing with one another or from crashing with space debris. However, what would happen if these satellites were to crash?
At the beginning of the space program, there was a general attitude that space was a big sky, that you could put anything in it that you wanted and not fill it up. The problem that you quickly run into is because these things are traveling so fast, they run into each other. And as soon as they run into each other, they create a lot of debris.
And the rate of collisions will then increase. And as the collisions increase, you make more debris.
And those fragments go collide with other things, and you start really making it more difficult and more expensive to operate in space.
Unfortunately, this is exactly what happened in 2009. An American communication satellite collided with a Russian communication satellite over northern Siberia that caused disruptions of global communication services. The collision of these two intact satellites is the worst space debris event, leaving several pieces counted for and unaccounted for that place an additional risk to other satellites in orbit. Fortunately, NASA and other space experts have recognized that all the space junk in our low Earth orbit is a problem. There has been a lot of brainstorming to figure out how we can avoid leaving debris in space from mission launches and how we can clean up the low Earth orbit using tugging and lasers. Unfortunately, these methods are costly and unlikely to happen in the near future. Until then, these giant machines up above will continue to live in a minefield and continue to be one of man's greatest inventions that gave us GPS, weather observation, Earth research, and global communication.